They saw him every morning, bent over a pair of dusty boots, scrubbing away as the world rushed past him. His name was Marcus Reed. In a small town in Georgia, where opportunity rarely knocked, Marcus knocked on it every day, not with a resume, not with connections, but with a shoe brush and a dream. He was 12 when his father left. No note, no goodbye. Just silence, and a mother who worked 3 jobs just to keep food on the table. So Marcus did the only thing he knew how to do. He went to work, before school, after school, on weekends. He polished shoes on the steps outside the courthouse, the very steps where people made decisions about futures. But no one noticed the boy kneeling on the concrete. They just saw a kid with scuffed up hands and a too big coat. They didn't see the library books stuffed in his bag. They didn't see how he memorized quotes from every leader he read about: Lincoln, Mandela, Jobs, King. They didn't know that while he scrubbed their shoes, he was also polishing a vision. Marcus dreamed of becoming a lawyer, not to wear suits but to stand up for those who never got the chance. At school, he was quiet, not because he was shy, but because he was tired. Tired from work, tired from pretending hunger didn't make his stomach ache, tired, but never broken. Kids teased him, called him shoeshine, laughed at his hand-me-down clothes, mocked his southern drawl. But he kept showing up. Day after day. With books, a brush, and belief. One day, a man in a sharp navy blue suit stopped to have his shoes cleaned. He watched Marcus work, watched how carefully he wiped the edges, how precise, how focused. "You do this every day?" the man asked. Marcus nodded. "Yes, sir. I gotta help my mom." The man paused, then asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Without missing a beat, Marcus replied, "I'm gonna be a lawyer. I'm gonna change things." Most people would have smiled politely and moved on, but not this man. His name was Charles Whitman, a retired judge. And that moment, that answer changed everything. He came back the next day. And the day after that, until one afternoon, he sat beside Marcus on the courthouse steps and said, "I believe in you." He bought Marcus his first real suit, got him into a better school. Found him mentors, paid for prep courses. But Marcus still did the work, still woke up at 5 a.m., still helped his mother pay rent, still read until his eyes couldn't stay open. And when college letters came in, there was one envelope that made him freeze. Harvard. He opened it with trembling fingers, and when he saw the word congratulations, he didn't scream, he didn't cry, he just closed his eyes and whispered, "I told you." At Harvard, he wasn't the most confident, wasn't the most connected, but he was always the most prepared. Because when you've spent your life fighting for a seat at the table, you don't waste it. He graduated top of his class, passed the bar, and came back to that same courthouse in Georgia not to clean shoes, but to fight cases, to defend those who had been invisible like he once was. People recognized him now. He wore suits, gave speeches, mentored kids. But if you looked closely, you'd still see the boy behind the man, the boy with the brush, the boy who refused to stay small. One day, a young boy sat on those same courthouse steps, selling bottled water. Quiet, nervous. Marcus walked over, bent down to buy a bottle, and said, "What's your dream?" The boy shrugged. "Dunno, nobody ever asked me that." Marcus smiled and said, "Then I guess I'm the first, because that's how change happens, not through miracles, but through moments, through people who refuse to let struggle define them. Who clean shoes with dignity. Who speak dreams out loud even when no one listens. So if you've ever felt overlooked, undervalued, dismissed, let this be your reminder. Your circumstances do not decide your future. Your heart does. Your discipline does. Your refusal to give up does. You don't need to come from wealth. You don't need perfect English or perfect grades. You just need one reason. One dream, one brush, and a fire that says, "I will not be forgotten." Keep showing up. Keep doing the hard things. Keep building your future even if no one sees it yet, because one day they will, and they'll say, "I remember him. He used to clean shoes outside the courthouse." But what they won't know is that he was building an empire the whole time.